Hello, everyone, and welcome to Why Wasn't It Better? I'm your host, Patrick Narms.
And I am your co-host, Anton Paras.
The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou is one of the strangest movies ever made by a major Hollywood director. It's part midlife crisis comedy, part grief drama, part parody of Jacques Cousteau documentaries, and somehow also a movie about legacy, failure, and desperately wanting to matter. Wes Anderson assembled an unbelievable cast, built an entire cross-section of a ship from scratch, filled the movie with stop-motion sea creatures, and gave Bill Murray one of the saddest performances of his career. The result was a box office bomb that left critics completely unimpressed in 2004. Some thought it was self-indulgent nonsense. Critically and commercially, it remains his least successful film. Over the years, however, it's developed an almost cult-like following, with many fans now considering it one of his very best. So what exactly was Wes Anderson trying to do here? Why did this movie connect so deeply with some while leaving others completely cold? And here to take to the seas with us is a return guest, Ben Hill.
Hello, everyone.
Ben, how are we doing?
We're doing great. We are doing great.
Nice. Love it. Love it.
We love
your
it when our
frames.
guests are doing great.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to see you guys again. It's been a minute. Yes.
It has, yes.
When was the last thing we had you on, Ben?
It was the Star Trek.
Star Trek 6.
Yes.
Classic. This one's sort of a classic, depending on who you ask.
Really depends on who you ask here.
It does.
It's like my first time seeing this movie, and I'm a huge Wes Anderson fan. Just never had the press play on this one.
Because it's divisive, right? You hear bad things about it from a lot of folks, and you hear good things about it from others, and it seems like it's always been like that.
I don't know how you guys feel about this. I think if this is the kind of movie where, depending on where you are in life, either age-wise or what you've experienced, this can either really resonate with you, or this just is just a weird film.
I would say it's one of the more divisive films that we're going to be covering. It just seems to have that reputation. And also a Patreon request, Anton.
All right. Thank you, patron.
Yes. Thank you, patron. This is our first Patreon request of season 11. As are some of our patrons, depending on what tier you are, yes, if you're paying us enough money, you have the ability to request a film for us to cover in the same season.
Yeah, if you pay money now, we cover movie.
Are you saying that in Tagalog?
I'm in a Moidian.
Moidian. We should not have made this bargain. This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
I'm sticking to it. It was an Nemoidian accent.
That's good. That's good. I wish they had included a fictional accent in this film. Like, oh yeah, like Bill the Stooge speaks Nemoidian.
Yeah. With the request, like, do we offer to also just give a shout out to the patron who requested, or?
Yes, this is from Christopher.
Okay.
Who wrote basically what we've been echoing, right? Which is just like, you haven't covered a Wes Anderson film. I think you should. I think you should start with The Life Aquatic because it's an early Wes Anderson film. It's a divisive, probably, the most divisive Wes Anderson film.
Mm-hmm.
Although I wonder some of his newer ones will end up being divisive, like French Dispatch, Asteroid City. Seems like people are pretty torn on those. Phoenician, I think that's another one.
Phoenician Scheme, yeah.
But anyway, let's get into this then. It was released on December 25th, 2004 by Touchstone Pictures and American Imperial Pictures, directed by Wes Anderson, screenplay written by Wes Anderson and Noah Baumbach, their first collaboration together. It's worth pointing that out. Starring Bill Murray, Owen Wilson, Cate Blanchett, Willem Dafoe, Michael Gambon, Jeff Goldblum, Angelica Houston, and Bud Cort. The budget was $50 million. That is $87 million adjusted for inflation. And this was a real bomb. It only grossed $34 million globally. That is $59 million adjusted for inflation. 52% Rotten Tomatoes score. Didn't wow the critics. The plot is renowned oceanographer Steve Zissou, played by Bill Murray, has sworn vengeance against the rare shark that devoured a member of his crew and his best friend. In addition to his regular team, he is joined on his boat by Ned, played by Owen Wilson, a man who believes Zissou to be his father, and Jane, played by Cate Blanchett, a journalist pregnant by a married man. They travel the sea, all too often running into pirates and perhaps more traumatically, various figures from Zissou's past including his estranged wife, Eleanor, played by Angelica Houston. Well, we already explained why this was chosen. It's a Patreon request, thanks to Christopher. Ben, you are a self-described Wes Anderson fan, and yet this was your first time seeing this. How's that possible?
Yes. Just never something I actually wanted to click on. I have all of his movies, and it's just, next time.
I know what you mean, because Steven Spielberg is probably my favorite filmmaker. I have not seen all of his movies, which is probably sacrilegious on my part, but whatever.
I'm happy that I got to watch it because Seu George, I ended up seeing him in live in concert in Switzerland, and now watching him in movies
that's a deep cut.
That is such a deep cut. I love that.
Yeah. I also realized Portuguese is not easy because half the time I thought he was singing "Ain't No Gasoline." It's a whole thing.
Yeah, you think it's similar to Spanish, and it kind of is, but also isn't.
Like laptop is lappy toppy.
Did not know that.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
I know quite a bit from just listening to bossa nova over the years. I don't know. I can't translate any of what I listen to, but yeah, I know what you mean.
It's the vibes, though. You get the vibes, and
Just like with this movie, you get the vibes.
Yeah.
So your first time seeing it, without completely giving it away, your opinion, I hope it was a pleasant experience for you.
It was. It's because of the familiar faces in all the Wes Anderson movies, and it's like, how can he take these people and then just jumble them up again and put them in different lights? So I really, really like it. So
I too am a Wes Anderson fan. He's definitely one of my favorite filmmakers, and I don't like all of his films equally, Anton, but in my opinion, I don't think he's ever made a bad film. Even the ones that I don't particularly enjoy, I would call none of them bad. He's an acquired taste. He has a very, very particular style, and what I would say is that I would totally understand if someone doesn't like his films. They're very specific. They're very distinct.
With the exception of Fantastic Mr. Fox. I mean, if you don't like that, you have a problem.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you don't like Fantastic Mr. Fox, I can't help you.
I have to agree with you guys there. That film just gets me a bit too emotional.
I don't know that many people who've seen it. That's the frustrating thing about it. It's one of the best films of the 2000s. What's the first Wes Anderson movie you saw? Because for me, it was Royal Tenenbaums on HBO.
It was Royal Tenenbaums on Comedy Central.
Okay, so yeah.
For me, it was the Grand Budapest Hotel. The woman I was dating at the time, she was like, "You have to watch this," and I was like, "All right, fine, whatever." And
good taste.
It's a good one to start with.
Yeah.
I feel like Grand Budapest it represented everything he was working towards. I feel like, because you see stuff in this film, you're like, oh, I can see he was trying to do this that he perfected a decade later with Grand Budapest. I get it. Yeah, I mean, so I saw this not in theaters, Anton. I don't know if we rented this or I saw this at a friend's house. The next year, I was in high school at the time. I liked it, but to your point that you were making earlier, I appreciate this movie much more now as a fully fledged adult. Now I have a child and I'm married.
Life experiences. It's the reason that came to mind was because I, having seen this in high school, my group of friends, we enjoyed this film, but not for the themes or just kind of the emotion in this film, but just more so for the vibes of the film. We actually, I remember going to a Wes Anderson party, and this is one of the most popular costumes at that party because of just, again, the vibes.
Right.
And everyone goes as the Royal Tannenbaums. It's just, come on.
So played out.
But I think now, again, watching this as a fully fledged adult, it hits differently.
It definitely does, and even though it's certainly a cult classic to many, in true cult classic fashion, I still don't think it's something that is really in the eye of mainstream audiences. Certainly not in the way the Royal Tenenbaums is or Grand Budapest Hotel. Outside of Wes Anderson fans, I don't know a ton of folks who have seen this.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the box office numbers. That was very clear.
It was a failure at every level when it came out.
But at least for redistribution, it's had life, and we'll talk. I mean, there's The sea is vast and beautiful.
So much to enjoy, full of wonder, if you will. I have a really quick anecdote about this movie. So this was probably around 2012. I'm flying back to the Northeast from Miami. I am waiting at the gate for my flight to board. The Miami airport is very crowded, so I don't know where this came from exactly, but one of the airline employees got on the PA and paged Esteban Cortez. Paging Esteban Cortez, please report to the customer service desk. And someone either at my gate or a nearby gate at the top of their lungs just started yelling, Esteban! Esteban! And not that many people laughed. Of course, people were confused. I immediately started laughing, and a few other people did too. So I know there was at least a handful of other people sitting near me at my gate who had seen The Life Aquatic.
And then as you turned over your shoulder, Sue George was playing Starman.
I had a hankering to listen to some David Bowie sung in Portuguese.
So good. That's an awesome story. That is awesome.
Still one of the funniest moments of my life. A not so funny moment of my life is over the years I have tried multiple times to acquire the Adidases that were made specifically for this film, and they are pretty much impossible to find unless you want to spend $300
for Team Zissou. It's a little tough.
I couldn't justify it. Certainly not now that I'm married.
Like, I pulled it up on StockX. It's like even more expensive for certain sizes.
Yeah, I think that's the cheapest I've seen now is $300.
Yeah,
jeez.
I'm looking right now. There's like a size 4. I don't even know who wears a size 4. $345.
You're just getting the shoe at that point for display.
Size 4 is like a kid's shoe, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But luckily, they're all the same.
You know, the frustrating thing about it is, too, I'm sure this was deliberate on Adidas's part. They don't have anything in their regular lineup that's close enough to this. You know what I mean? Because you can try to find gazelles that are like cream colored and have the blue stripes, but it just doesn't.
You're not going to get it.
No.
Yeah.
I guess if you're really committed, you could always buy one and then like color one of the stripes. But do you really want to do that?
You could. There's some good seamsters out there. You're still going to need the Zissou on it.
Yeah. It is interesting that a company like Adidas would do something like this for a film like this. Because, I mean, certainly wouldn't be described as a mainstream film in 2004. Right. It's not like, I don't know, Anton, another 2004 film that caused people to buy some shoes. It's not like iRobot with Converse All-Stars.
But they didn't have to produce a special line of All-Stars.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And if you look at another Wes Anderson movie, The Darjeeling Limited, those suitcases were made by Louis Vuitton, and they are way more expensive than the Adidas. You would see me with the Adidas before.
You looked into that luggage, right?
I did. How much? I was like,
how much is that going for?
At the time when the movie was going to be released, they were about $1,600 American.
Oh, so we can only assume they're maybe in the
$5,000 range now.
Yeah.
$5,000 sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
So someone would probably try to be selling them for $7,000. And you can meet them at $5,000.
But good for Wes Anderson for getting those deals out there.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the hustle from him.
Just such a great just film style. You know what you're gonna get 90% of the time. Like the shots are gonna be lined up perfect. It's just
yeah. That's why I say he's an acquired taste. It's
an acquired taste, but a little bit of hinting on my thoughts. It's and a lot of people's commentary was this film Wes Anderson coming to grips with a Wes Anderson film and a Wes Anderson style?
Quite
being
possibly.
okay with that.
Well, let's find out. Before we talk about this film's production history, it is time for everyone's favorite completely unnecessary segment, which is the 6 degrees of Warren Beatty's sex life. Because somehow, no matter the film, we have a prevailing theory on this podcast that everything connects back to Warren Beatty. Pretty straightforward for this one. Angelica Houston is our connector here. She was in a relationship for many years with Jack Nicholson. They were both in a film together called Prizzi's Honor, a John Huston film. Her father directed that in 1985. And of course, Nicholson dated Michelle Phillips, who very famously dated Warren Beatty. Nicholson also dated Diane Keaton at one point, who also dated Warren Beatty.
Not surprised there.
Nope. You could do Wes Anderson as a connector too, because of Gene Hackman and the Royal Tenenbaums. Gene Hackman was in a ton of movies starring women who banged Warren Beatty, probably. Bonnie and Clyde, Faye Dunaway. There you go. She can deny it all she wants, but I don't believe it. That's true, Anton. I think Faye Dunaway denied ever having slept with Warren Beatty. It's like no one believes that.
No one's gonna believe that, but at least that's what's on paper.
Yeah. By the way, quick bit of trivia for you, Anton. So Steven Spielberg and his wife recently relocated to New York City. They are living in the San Remo Co-op just off Central Park. That is the tower. That is the building that I was telling you about, where Warren Beatty was dating two separate women who lived in the two different towers. So Diane Keaton lived in the South Tower, and Mary Tyler Moore lived in the North Tower, and he would visit both of them throughout the day.
Like 80s sitcom trope is that?
I don't know if it is. I think it's a Warren Beatty stands alone trope.
It's banging between towers. That's the trope.
Yeah, but the same building, so you don't have to go outside.
Sorry, banging between hallways. That's the trope.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite stories about Warren Beatty. Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's.
I'm myself making a 9/11 joke. I'm sorry.
That's good.
It was close. It was close, but I'm glad you held off.
We don't go there on this podcast.
Oh, you're so close.
We draw the line.
Not on the final cut.
Yeah.
We draw the line at Warren Beatty. Okay, so production history for this.
Wes Anderson's first movie, co-written with Noah Baumbach. Anderson's usual writing partner was Owen Wilson, but he was becoming more popular as an actor and was unavailable. While some of the characters were inspired by such American novels as The Great Gatsby and The Magnificent Ambersons, the plot has been compared to Moby Dick. The character of Steve Zissou was written with Bill Murray in mind, and according to co-writer and director Wes Anderson, it, quote, could have been no one else, end quote. Co-writer Noah Baumbach and Wes Anderson named several of the places and crew members in the movie spontaneously after things and people that were around them at the Italian restaurant where they had held many of their meetings about the movie. Pescapata Island, for instance, was named for one of the dishes on the menu. Some of the characters' names were named after waiters and patrons at the restaurant. A 50-year-old minesweeper bought and towed from South Africa served as the Belafonte. Wes Anderson claimed to be going through an Italian phase during the time of making this movie. That's one of the reasons why it was shot in Rome at the Cinecittà Studios. Ben, can you give the assist? Where do you think I am there closely?
First off, you said that way better than me.
All right. Okay. Close. It was close enough.
Oh yeah.
Principal photography lasted from September to December 2003. Cinecittà Studios was where all the interior scenes were filmed. Location shooting was done in various locations in and around Naples. During filming, Bill Murray became a certified diver, logging over 40 hours. Murray also recorded his lines for Garfield the movie while filming this. Gwyneth Paltrow was originally going to play Jane Winslet Richardson, but couldn't because of schedule conflicts. Nicole Kidman expressed interest and Wes Anderson hired her, but she had to bow out due to other commitments, and Julianne Moore requested the role. However, it was eventually went to Cate Blanchett. Blanchett never rehearsed with the crew and hadn't even met most of them before filming the nighttime electric jellyfish scene, in which she first appears in the movie to add spontaneity to the scene. In addition to the luminescent spotted jaguar shark, other fictional life forms, some stop motion animated, are cited and appear throughout the film, such as the rhinestone bluefin, crayon ponyfish, wild snow mongoose, electric jellyfish, and sugar crabs. The animation work was done by Harry Selick, who is best known for directing The Nightmare Before Christmas. The jaguar shark is one of the largest stop-motion puppets ever constructed. It measured 8 feet in length and required 5 hand-crank controls for the swimming action. And as always, we thank you for listening. If you're liking the podcast and haven't already done so, please hit that follow or subscribe button. We encourage you to leave comments wherever you're listening or watching, and you can follow us on any major social media platform, whether Instagram, X, and best of all, Letterboxd, where you can see our full list of films that we intend to cover. And if you really like what we're doing and want to throw a few dollars our way, just check out our Patreon. There you can support the show, get access to episodes a full week early and ad-free, plus access to bonus content, including getting a film of your choice covered by our show. So links to the aforementioned are in the description. Thank you. And that is it for our production. Let us dig into the meat, gentlemen. Pat, what is our first reason for why wasn't it better?
Well, first of all, I want to say this is a great summer movie. If nothing
I agree with
else,
that.
if that's your only takeaway from listening to this episode of the podcast, this is a heck of a good movie to watch during summer with a cocktail in hand.
Yeah, it was we had just recorded Miami Vice, and you had mentioned something about having that in the background. I can definitely have this film on in the background.
Absolutely.
Wonderful background movie. That's a great shout. I go with a Negroni for this.
Solid choice.
Because at one point, Steve Zissou drinks Campari on the rocks, and that's a little too bitter for me.
That's intense.
That is wild. That is wild.
I know at least one other film where someone drinks straight Campari. Anton, it's a film we've covered.
Hercules.
No. It's a Bond movie, actually.
Oh.
But it's not drank by Bond.
Is it like be a villain?
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a villain, but a Bond ally named Draco drinks Campari on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Mm-hmm.
What does that have to do with Steve Zissou? Not a lot. Why wasn't this film better? I think I want to start by talking about the tone, because if you read the common criticisms of this film, it is centered around the tone, how it is too whimsical. That's one thing that kept coming up in some of the reviews that I read.
Yeah.
I don't think this film's perfect, Anton. But why does this get singled out? This has a lot of Wes Anderson staples in it that are present in a lot of his other work. So why do you think that this gets singled out?
The tone is so jarring, especially for when the film is released. Right before you get, arguably until the Grand Budapest Hotel, Wes Anderson's most popular film, which was The Royal Tenenbaums. And that really put his name on the map. And that had a very particular style and feel that really gets people into thinking, wow, like I want more of Wes Anderson. And it's safe to say this film has a very different feel from that film.
I think it does and it doesn't. I think a lot of the Wes Anderson staples are in both films. Now, this certainly exists in what I would describe as a different cinematic universe, where Royal Tenenbaums certainly existed in the real world. This certainly doesn't. All of us were talking before the recording began. It's like, where does this film take place? It's kind of all over the place on the map, like literally on the map. At one point, they're in the Atlantic Ocean. At one point, they're in the Mediterranean, speaking Italian. Another point, they get kidnapped by pirates who are speaking Filipino.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a difference between, like, with some of the execution, especially around like the comedy of the film. Now, both very sarcastic films, very ironic humor in both films, but there's much more slapstick humor in this film. Definitely not something present in Royal Tenenbaums.
That's true. And we certainly get the more of what what Anderson would become famous for, right? Which is his own cinematic language. And you have to give him credit as a director, because he created something visually, Ben, that is so unique. It basically has become an adjective. Like, if you describe something as like a Wes Anderson movie to someone, they're immediately going to envision probably
really good
unnatural
color
dialogue. Yeah. Very theatrical blocking, fake looking sets, very specific humor. What do you think, Ben? Because you've seen his other work. Does this stand out to you, being your first time seeing it?
For me, it has to be outstanding to stand out. But what this does is, this movie just took a long time, right? Not like any of his other movies. And like the pacing was just, right? And the character development was there, but it just wasn't like there. You know, like I don't know how else to say it, but that's also probably the reason why I see a lot of people that just don't like it, or as much as any of his other films.
For me, Anton, it's definitely the Fantasyland aspect to it, where you're like, it starts off what looks to be the real world, right? He's making a documentary. He's at this show. He's at this, I guess, the premiere of it in a way, I guess. And then he gets this crayon ponyfish handed to him in a bag, and it's like this stop motion creature. And you're like, okay, so there's
honestly
animals in here.
That was actually probably like one of my favorite parts about that whole movie. If I can have a stop motion seahorse that is like melted Crayola crayons over everywhere, I'll definitely have one.
Of course, yeah.
But like,
yeah. But that's the thing. I think to the point you were getting at, Anton, like you don't need the fictional animals, so it's like why?
I think like it's about where does the offbeat or whimsical humor come from in the film. I think, we talk about Royal Tannenbaums a lot. Maybe that's a good one to kind of put as a parallel to this film, in that a lot of the humor is built around the family, the individuals who are pretty stuck in the past, whether it's glory in the past or just who they were. Whereas a lot of this film, the whimsy comes from a lot of the surroundings, and still very character driven, but you see a lot of visual humor as well as a lot of, again, slapstick humor that occurs, where the emotion which feels a little almost out of place when the emotion in the film is so deep and so heavy.
Yes, I agree. Especially for me, the biggest standout for me tonally is, by the way, I like this sequence a lot, but the ridiculous pirate attack. Steve chews through the ropes around his hands. He gets a gun from one of the pirates, and he just starts this giant, frankly, goofy shootout. No one can hit anything. All of a sudden, he shoots one of the pirates in the neck. They stab one of the interns in the neck, and it's
bunch of stormtroopers right there.
Yeah. Now I enjoy it. It's extremely entertaining, but I know what you mean, because there is some deep stuff in this film, like with any one of Anderson's works.
Yeah, Bill Murray had a part where he was like, I never wanted to be a father. Like, that part right there, I was like, wow, I could see why he never even responded to knowing that he had a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about the film where there's definitely a lot more themes on, I want to say, like existentialism. There's a lot more around, I feel like loneliness is a core theme of this film.
Yeah. Man's search for meaning, if you will.
Yeah, meaning, acceptance of change, or just like, because a big theme around this film, right, is that the world's kind of passed him by. It feels like life has really already gone on, but he's either clinging on to, trying to make sure that his image is upheld, and like that's all captured in the jaguar shark.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, he's quite lazy.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not being passed by in regards of his hard work.
But it's like there is like a lot of complacency in him, which probably comes from like a deep depression.
Yeah. And it's all set on what I think is a very effective hangout movie. I mean, this is the definition of a hangout movie. Ben, you mentioned the pacing. It's definitely chill. I think there are moments where the slow pacing works against it. By the way, a lot of that, like, that is what Wes Anderson does, right? And I think, for the record, I think Wes Anderson is the best at the hangout movie. The Darjeeling Limited is one big hangout movie, right?
Oh, I don't know, man.
You're hanging out with the three brothers on a train as they are on this supposed spiritual journey.
Supposed.
Yeah, supposed.
Three brothers and like a staffer just hiding in the back.
Intern.
Yeah,
is it an intern? I think that guy's an intern, right?
No, I think he might be like a full-time employee.
He's like an assistant.
Yeah, printing the itineraries and sliding them.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, this film, it's not like pacing-wise Anderson is doing anything differently than he does in his other films. I think this is paced similarly, but I would say the plot is definitely secondary for big stretches of this film. It's like halfway through the film, you almost have to remind yourself that Zissou is on a revenge quest against a shark that ate his dead friend. You're like, oh yeah, he's doing that.
Well, it's about that, right? Like the jaguar shark, but then also documenting all of it, and documenting it with a very particular style.
I'm glad you brought that up, because my wife was asking about this, and I think this is this has also thrown some other people off who don't have any context. She's like, is the film part of the documentary that he's making? I'm like, it's hard to tell in some parts.
Hard to tell. Well, there are a lot of scenes where you get interiors of the ship and you can tell it's a set, and it's not. But they're still in universe walking through, so it feels more like a play, but it also feels like, are we in on something around filming? And that's why I feel like there's a lot of parallels, or even just a lot of metaphor here, to this being a film about directing. There's a few things that I've read online just around when you think of the themes of the film really being a metaphor for directing and Wes Anderson's part, or in Wes Anderson's story, you really like it starts to have a very different take, and it starts to have a very different feel, especially when it all very much fits along those lines. But I don't think by no means do I think it undermines any like emotional tones. In fact, I think it just adds to the depth of the film. It's a bit of a pun.
I like where you're going with that. 'Cause I don't think it, despite all the stuff we're acknowledging, it doesn't take away my enjoyment for the film. But like the thing my wife pointed out, I had to acknowledge. I'm like, yeah, I could see how that would be confusing.
And I think that's where, for your average viewer, this can probably, all this open interpretation and kind of all of this juxtaposition is a little jarring.
So, Ben, this is the first time you've seen this. This film is often described as a transitional film for Anderson, where you can see how he's moving into the direction of what he would start to do in like Moonrise Kingdom, Grand Budapest. And I wouldn't say he's quite perfected it yet in this film. It comes across as somewhat like experimental to me. Now I like it, but the stuff he's doing, like Anton, you pointed out the set, where it's like they're not even trying to disguise the fact that the sets are fake, and that's something he would do. I think I would say more effectively in something like the Grand Budapest Hotel, with like the model, where like the crazy like cable car models in that.
Yeah,
and I think it works better in that film than it does here.
Now here we get like I like where you're saying like we get the prototype of that, right? Like this is my ship, and I think that was really well done.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I get it. Like making that whole world. Yeah.
The Belafonte.
It's not there yet at that time. Yeah.
By the way, great name for a ship, the Belafonte.
Oh, excellent.
Ben, you have to see this more because you've seen it 1.5 times. This one of my favorite things about this film is I think this works in the tone's favor, Anton, is how quotable this is. I was going to say this in the intro as part of the description, but now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go on an overnight drunk, and in 10 days I'm going to set out to find the shark that ate my friend and destroy it. Anyone who wants to tag along is more than welcome.
So good.
All the stuff involving the interns, like do all the interns get Glocks? Like no, they all share one.
They share one. I was dying laughing.
So good. That's up my alley, like humor wise, joke wise. So I love it.
That this humor isn't for everyone. I acknowledge it.
Yeah, it's
all the intern stuff.
There's a lot of jokes where I see a lot of parallels to British humor, and I love British humor.
Oh yeah, very dry.
Mm-hmm.
Very dry. Don't point that gun at him. He's an unpaid intern. It's all like the little stuff in this film too. Like when they're raiding Hennessy's research vessel.
Yes.
And what does Steve? Remember, he just goes. He's like, "Is this an espresso machine?" He just rips it out of the wall. He hands it to an intern. He goes, "Hook this up and make me a latte."
And at the end of the movie, at the end of the film, Jeff Bloomberg is like, "Hey," Goldblum is like, "Hey, is that mine?"
Where did you get my espresso machine? We fucking stole it, man.
I mean, I don't know. It's sorry to go back to it, but you could probably see like a director that's worked on Hollywood sets just thinking, well, this is how we treat interns on set.
What does he say towards the end when one of them, he's going to give them like incomplete credit or whatever?
Yeah, and then he only gives one an A.
Yeah. Where are they from? The University of North Alaska?
Alaska, yeah.
It's just like, that's funny. I don't know why, but it is.
Yeah.
How do you even get there? You know, from the middle of Africa or Italy or potentially the Philippines?
It's like, I look, and stuff like that. Is it important for the plot that we know exactly where they are in the ocean? No, but as a film nerd, I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Continuity. But it was never going to do that. Like, is a jaguar shark real? No. 10 meters?
Who knows?
Who knows? That's true.
The ocean is
out there.
Not really discovered that much.
It's true.
Just saying.
The B team stuff made me laugh. I don't want to be on B team. He's like, yeah, but you're the B team leader. And my favorite line, Anton, if you ever want to anger your wife after you've been together for 10 years, is just say something like, I haven't been at my best this past decade. Get a funny look.
Deep words.
Deep words. Anything involving Alistair Hennessy makes this movie watchable.
Oh, so fun.
They made soup out of my research turtle. During the rescue, he just says that to Steve. And then honestly, one of the best lines isn't even a line, but he's like, "Steven, are you rescuing me?" And Bill Murray he's like, accidentally. Now, so Anton, where do you rank this compared to Anderson's stuff from the 2020s? Because I would say French Dispatch and Asteroid City, and I think to some degree his latest movie, The Phoenician Scheme, have been less well received than his 2010 stuff for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you rank this with them?
With the 2020 stuff?
Yeah.
I think that it's interesting because I feel like the different eras almost should go in their own category. I think that
it's a cop
in
out.
terms of I was going to say in terms of preference, I actually do prefer this film than say Asteroid City, but I also just really like this film.
I do. Yeah. I agree with you. I do too.
Yeah. So I think if I had to say like what do I prefer between this and the 2020s, probably this film. But I will admit, like, it does feel like it's maybe not quite as realized as like the Grand Budapest.
Oh no. I mean that's his magnum opus. Like, Ben, if you were going to pick one Anderson film to show to anyone, would it be Grand Budapest?
It would be a tie between that and the Fantastic Mr. Fox. I'm telling you right now, that is like
not a wrong answer.
It's not a wrong answer. I think that's an incredible answer.
That is my Paddington Bear.
I showed that to my parents recently, Fantastic Mr. Fox. And by the way, they have tried watching other Wes Anderson films and didn't like them. They really liked Fantastic Mr. Fox. You know, both of them grew up reading Roald Dahl. So they were like, oh, the Roald Dahl. I'm like, yeah.
And then like, there's just tears going down everyone's face. They're like, he just wants to be better.
They cracked up when he gets his tail shot off.
Oh gosh.
For the ambush scene. He's wearing it as a tie. What is it? What are the farmers? Bodice, Bunsen, Bean.
Beans, yeah.
Bodice, Bunsen, Bean.
I want to put them back on now.
And this film have that same feeling thing about like wanting to be loved by your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was watching an interview that Anderson gave with Charlie Rose to promote this film. Now, obviously, this was very early in Anderson's career, so he was only talking about a handful of films. But Rose asked him, what's the connector between all of your films, if there is one? And Anderson said, which I think still rings true to a lot of his work, he said, I like to write characters that could hang out in other movies that I make. Which is, I mean, it's a very obvious thing for him to say, but I had never thought about it like that before. And I'm like, of course, you can plug so many of his other characters in other films. And I think that's still true of The Life Aquatic, even though this is somewhat of an outlier tonally. Like, it makes perfect sense. If Steve Zissou had popped up somehow in Moonrise Kingdom, even though Bill Murray plays another character in that film, it somehow would have worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if one of the characters had been like, yeah, I was an intern for 1 year on like Zissou's research vessel.
I do love the idea. I do love that.
And, you know,
it's like, yeah, because that movie, I think that takes place clearly in the 60s, right?
Yeah. Well, like boys camp and like,
yeah. Or does it? I don't know. I love the out of time setting to this.
Yeah. When's Asteroid City set?
Do they say the
Cold
date?
War, like
I was gonna say, is that the 60s or is that the 50s?
I think it's implied. Let's look this up. Maybe is it confirmed in the movie? I don't know.
The music in this film and the overall atmosphere, I could see this being in the 60s.
Okay,
but it also
sorry, I just cut you off.
No, go ahead.
It says a retro futuristic version of 1955. Now this film, what's your guess for this one, Anton?
1966.
Right.
No way.
I don't know. It could, like, you could be right. I don't know. I was
like, whoa.
No, I don't know.
70s, 80s for like for the technology that's in there, where you know, like you have like the push to talk in every single room,
right?
Communicate, you know, like
right. Because I don't think there's a single cell phone in this, right? Everyone's using landlines.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. It's just something about the diegetic music.
Yeah,
it feels very from that era of the 1960s.
David Bowie.
Yeah,
heavy dose of David Bowie. You know, in some ways, I mean, this came out before it, but you know the TV show Archer?
Of course.
It's the same
Great.
out of time.
Great show.
The technology could exist. You're like, well, they have cell phones in that show, but the Cold War is also still going on. And then there's all these references to 1960 stuff. The cars are almost all from the 60s and 70s, so it's totally out of time. That's the same sense I get. Esteban.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever laughed as hard in a Wes Anderson movie at Hennessy getting shot at the poker table. It's pretty great.
There's just something about Wes Anderson films where just comedy can come at a drop of a hat.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it, right? You don't expect it.
Comedy and tragedy. Because if there's anything we know about his films at this point, anyone's fair game to get killed.
Yeah. In this film, death is treated with a heavy weight, a very heavy weight.
The first time you saw this, were you expecting Owen Wilson's character to die?
No.
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Not at all.
When he's carrying him out of the water, you're like, wait, is he dead? Like, what?
I'm back.
Equally shocking for me is Ray Fiennes' character getting killed in Grand Budapest. And you know how the narrator's just like, and they shot him. You're like, oh, shit. F. Murray Abraham. Great F. Murray Abraham role.
Yeah. It's another one that Wes Anderson wrote just for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's probably the biggest strength of Wes Anderson stuff, right? Is the casts that he puts together, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah, he has actors in mind that he knows like they have to play this role.
Yeah. One thing I want to say about the Royal Tenenbaums, Anton, a lot of parallels here between Zissou and I think Royal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a bad guy, but very immature.
Does things that are unlikable.
Yes. Very self-destructive behavior.
Also kind of at very similar points in their life, like
unable to come to grips with what's happening around him. The consequences of Steve Zissou's actions are far more severe than Royal Tenenbaum. Royal Tenenbaum doesn't get his alleged son killed.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's face it, like, Steve gets Ned killed, basically. Let's go up in the whirlybird. Or actually, is that Ned's idea, though? Remember, he's like, let's go up in the whirlybird and look for the shark. But
that's true.
We have Chekhov's whirlybird because, remember earlier in the film, he's just like, yeah, I think Klaus is supposed to get this checked out every 6 months, but he doesn't.
Oh, no. Speaking of Klaus.
Klaus.
And they fly it anyway.
They fly it anyway. I mean, the film also implies he's responsible for Esteban's death too, right? We don't know that for sure, but well, that's a funny bit of dialogue though. Swallowed? No, chewed.
He has crazy eyes.
Oh, the crazy eyes. Anton, jogging your memory, does that come up in other movies besides Fantastic Mr. Fox, the crazy eyes thing? Has he done that in other movies?
I can't recall.
I feel like he probably has though, right?
It seems like it would, right?
Yeah. The possum. What does Mr. Fox say to him? He's like, I'm just going to continue speaking as if you can hear me. He's like, I'm not really sure, but... And just despite all this self-destructive behavior, we still end up liking Zissou because of Bill Murray's performance.
Absolutely.
There are enough qualities that I think because of how the character is written, a lot of these things that are a bit more unlikable, people can kind of jot down as just quirky or eccentric. And there are enough qualities about his character that are also a bit more, a bit more sympathetic that he's not completely unlikable. So it is really fascinating. And you almost need someone that can give like such an aloof performance while still having a very heavy performance like Bill Murray. I think he really balances that line very well.
He gives you so many reasons not to like him.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a dick to everyone. It's implied that he's stoned all the time. He's just ripping joints left and right
constantly.
I know it's like it might sound like a joke, but like his character is a lot like Garfield, who of course Bill Murray like did a voice on. Like Garfield is not a very likable character.
No,
but Bill Murray actually is able to give him like the right voice to capture that essence. He still is likable.
Do you want to cover Garfield?
Now I do.
As we keep going, I mean, I have the tone as a reason. We're kind of talking about a lot of different things, but whatever. It's my podcast. Who cares? Underrated thing about this movie, and the more I see this, especially now that I've seen it on Blu-ray, is how well filmed it is. This is a gorgeous looking film.
Yep, it's especially seeing this on a Blu-ray. Ooh, it's so pretty.
They really used the locations well. It was filmed a lot in Naples and in Rome. I guess it's hard to mess up those locations, but
Yeah.
Anderson uses the same cinematographer for all his films, Robert Yeoman.
Yep, it's a very pretty Mediterranean,
African, Filipino, whatever.
Yeah, wherever it is.
You're the world.
That was a trip.
What I actually like about this film so much is that we've been talking about the deep themes, and you both of you agreed it is basically a hangout movie. You can watch it either way you want. If you want to ignore the themes in this movie, you can just enjoy it for the visuals, the dialogue, but you also get the deeper stuff with that. I think what works for me too about the film, everybody goes through an arc. I think that ultimately that's why I'm willing to forgive the slow pacing and some of the tonal shifts, is the characters all have pretty satisfying arcs. Even Ned, who dies tragically, right?
RP.
Yeah. Klaus ends up respecting him. The intern gets an A. Just kidding. I think Steve reaches a level of emotional maturity that he probably should have decades earlier. It looks like he reconciles with his wife. He seems like he's friends with Hennessy by the end of the film.
Mm-hmm.
No, he stole the shit.
Right. But he rescued him from pirates, which is, you're willing to forgive someone when they do that.
Yeah.
We never stop to think if they should. They only thought about it if they could. All this shit.
You saying they found a way?
Yeah.
What do we think of the hostage rescue sequence?
Oh man,
Star Wars vibe.
Chaotic.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I think we've talked about this before, Pat. I would love to see a Wes Anderson horror film, and I think probably this is the closest to like kind of the tension you'd try to capture in a film like that. It's a very serious situation with so many undertones of comedy.
Yeah. I guess it's probably the highlight of the film for me, just with the soundtrack, and you're right. It is a surprising level of tension, despite the zaniness of the humor. And then, the climax of the film on the submarine. It's a wonderful payoff.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty emotional, surprisingly emotional.
Yeah, surprisingly emotional. I really do think between this one and Royal Tannenbaums, I think everyone can relate to family dynamics. This one is, I think, a bit more different because this one's almost about like being a parent and also about having experienced life. What are the regrets that you have when you reach a certain level? And I feel like, yeah, now that we're older, it's like, well, being a parent, Pat, for you and I, that carries so much weight. You definitely see this from a very different perspective.
Even if your main character is playing someone who didn't want to be a parent.
Apparently.
Well, let's talk about the cast then. We've already been kind of teasing this, but I think as it tends to be, the cast is, I would say, almost always the strongest thing about a Wes Anderson film.
It's the same group of people.
It's usually a very similar group of people for sure, but I think more recently in the past, I would say 15 years, he's been adding new faces to his cast. Like Tom Hanks, I thought was a pretty welcome surprise in Asteroid City, because Tom Hanks is really good at dry humor, which is well suited for this. But Anton, I say we were mentioning earlier how Wes Anderson, his films are in many ways influenced by Woody Allen, not just with the humor, but for me, I think the biggest influence, I don't know if necessarily an influence, but what reminds me of Woody Allen is the casting culture that he's able to put together.
I can see that.
For decades, Woody Allen would get these absurdly stacked casts on tiny salaries because, it just by the 80s, the prestige of appearing in one of his films was enormous for actors. So, those Woody Allen movies, they would have really tiny budgets with these hugely famous actors in them. You get the same thing here with Zissou. Or not just Zissou, but Wes Anderson's movies. Like Grand Budapest Hotel, I think that's probably the biggest budget film that he ever did. But you look at the cast in that, and you're like, how was he able to get all them together? Actually, I lied. This is going to shock you. What do you think the budget of Grand Budapest Hotel was? Now this was Zissou was 50 million. What do you think Grand Budapest was?
85 million.
No.
70?
No, not close. 25.
25
Get
million.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I think Steve Zissou is the most expensive movie he's ever made. That's nuts.
Man, like the biggest flop.
All the puppet stuff, sure. I could see
Yeah,
it.
but like,
Yeah, the stop motion. Yeah.
guess, I mean, you just think by the level of inflation 10 years later, that's what I would have guessed, Anton. You guess, what'd you guess, 75 or 80? That
75,
would have been
yeah.
my guess, but
Well,
no, 25.
So what is it? Since 2007, his films have been funded by a billionaire, Stephen Rails.
Right.
And so Wes Anderson doesn't really have to worry too much about are his films going to get covered cost-wise, right? He has a patron.
But at the same time, he doesn't abuse it.
He doesn't. And people that work with him, yeah, like you said, they're willing to take pay cuts. Studios see the significance of his work, so they work out distribution deals. There aren't very many directors I can think of nowadays that get this level of treatment.
That's why he reminds me of Woody Allen. He would get all this loaded cast together. His films never made huge amounts of money, but it wasn't about the money with his films.
It was just him doing it.
Yeah. Well, all right, the cast. Let's start with Zissou himself. We've already been talking about Bill Murray. This is one of my favorite Bill Murray performances. He's perfect. I can't imagine anybody else playing Zissou.
Yeah. Have we covered any other Bill Murray films? Is this our first Bill Murray?
I think it might be.
Did you guys think Ghostbusters?
No, we didn't do Ghostbusters.
We didn't do Ghostbusters. That's a heavy hitter.
No. Let me check. I think it is.
Yeah. There's so much to be said about Bill Murray as an actor. I think that this was, much later in his career, and I think the perfect role for him at the time.
Yeah, because this was during that Lost in Translation revival for him.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, as far as I can tell, this is the first Bill Murray movie ever.
I mean, that's a pretty big milestone. Shouts out Bill Murray. I'm a big Bill Murray fan. We've never had the opportunity to talk about this, but yeah, I'm a big Bill Murray fan.
Same.
Groundhog Day.
That's probably my favorite performance if it was Groundhog Day. But this is close. He's perfect here. That's not one of my
Garfield.
Garfield. Honestly, pretty hilarious. Osmosis Jones.
There's a deep cut.
Osmosis Jones. Oh my gosh.
Haven't thought about that in a while.
I have very vivid memories of Bill Murray wanting to go to Buffalo to try buffalo wings.
Kingpin is high on the list for me.
Oh yeah,
Ernie McCracken. That's his name in that movie, right? Ernie McCracken.
Yeah. What was another one? Man, there's so many. I mean, nowadays he just takes much smaller roles because he's basically retired now at this point.
Yeah, I think he still does stuff with Anderson, but yeah, he's slowed down. He lives a life of leisure in Charleston, South Carolina.
He had a really funny role in the first Zombie. What was it? Zombieland.
Zombieland, yeah.
Yeah.
I think most people love Bill Murray. I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone who didn't like him. Cubs fan. Very famous Chicago Cubs fan. You know what I like about his performance so much in this film? Of all the emotional swings that he goes on, he never asks you to feel any sympathy for him.
No, this is something about, I think, the quality of his character that I think draws people to this kind of eccentric type. Is he's very defiant and he's very determined in everything. And I feel like it is an admirable quality, but also it shows the flaws of his character and that people get hurt along the way.
Ben, you may want to get closer to the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's much, much better.
Yeah. Ended up leaning back a little bit.
Yeah, there we go. That's way better.
So my eyes are getting a little bit low.
It's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where I'd rank his performances. This is damn high on the list, though.
This is it's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I think a lot of people would say Rushmore is the best performance he's given in a Wes Anderson movie. I think I would say this.
Rushmore. That's a throwback.
Another hot take. Ever seen Rushmore?
What kind of Anderson fan are you?
You got it. It's
after the 2010s and after.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know that's a hot take. That's just saying you didn't say it.
Oh, I'm definitely but you have these people that are like diehard Wes Anderson.
Right. Oh,
Yeah,
he has a really serious fan base.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Rushmore's super fun. Highly recommend it. I don't want to say too much more. Like, I think you'll really love it.
Yeah, if you like his other stuff, you'll like it. I would say. And Anton, is this a hot take for me to say? I don't think it's great. I think he's just done. It's not that I don't like it. I just think he's done far, far better work.
So, like, just Rushmore as a film, like, you don't think it's great?
It's fine.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very fair take.
Yeah,
I just think that like it sets the foundation for a lot of people of like, oh, I like this style.
It's like the same thing I say to people when I'm like, I don't really like Reservoir Dogs, and they're like, what? And they're like, how could you not like that if you like Tarantino? It's like, because Tarantino, he was young, it was his first film.
He's just
way
done better.
Way better stuff.
He got way better after Reservoir Dogs. That is for sure. Yeah.
Way better.
Shouts out. We were talking about how Criterion does like the Criterion Closet, like look through for different actors, directors. I took a peek at the list of films that Wes Anderson pulled out of the Criterion Closet, and I got reminded of the film Mishima, A Life in 4 Chapters.
Ooh.
He said it's one of his top 10 favorite films.
I can see that, even though I haven't seen the movie. You've told me enough about it that I could see that.
It makes me really want us to cover this film now, just because
it's on our list, man. We're gonna cover it. Yeah,
that was still so wild though when I found that at VHS at that convention. I was like, dude,
did you buy it?
No, I do have the guy that I know that still has it. So
what's he charging for it?
A little too much. Just that's the only reason why.
Yeah,
the only reason why.
Yeah, that's fair. You're better off buying it on Blu-ray.
Having said that, you see a film like that is in his top 10, it really makes me understand, like, you see more into like why he loves atmosphere and like why he loves.
Can I
just
venture a guess?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a bunch of foreign films in his top 10? I could totally see him. Okay,
Bunch of foreign films.
Almost stereotyping himself.
I love the French avant-garde, and of course Kurosawa. Kurosawa is just such a legend.
Doesn't he live in France? Yeah, and then Wes Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's one of those expats where he successfully made it not corny. Like, it works for him. When you see him interviewed, you're like, yeah, he would live in France, and it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're beautiful sidebars. Kind of like the pacing of this film. This is a very leisurely episode of the podcast, and I'm loving it.
But
this Negroni is just going right through me.
But yeah, Bill Murray in this role, perfect choice. He's really able to capture, like, because Bill Murray does surly so well, and like Steve Zissou is so surly.
He does stoned very well too.
Mm-hmm.
What does he say after he smokes the joint to Ned? Which, by the way, that brings us to Owen Wilson as Ned Plimpton. He's like, it's a good line. Sorry, you caught me with one foot off the merry-go-round. It's like, it's perfect.
Poor Ned.
I think probably a controversial role for Owen Wilson, because I know a lot of people have made fun of his accent. I like him in this movie. I do.
Yeah, down to earth guy. That Kentucky accent was too much for me.
It's get closer to the mic, Ben.
Oh, sorry. Kentucky accent was a little bit too much for me. After a while, it just started getting annoying, and then towards the end of the film, I was like, oh, he died. Okay, I'm okay with that. I don't have to hear that anymore.
It wasn't so jarring for me, probably just because I'd seen it before, so I was expecting it. But I can see that. Owen Wilson, also frequent collaborator with Wes Anderson.
This was the first film that Anderson directed that was not co-written by Owen Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Thought that was interesting. Accent aside, I do like him here just because I think he's got great chemistry with Bill Murray.
Absolutely.
Their scenes together are really great. Heartwarming.
I think at this point, because this was during Owen Wilson's golden age in film. And at this point, I think a lot of people forget that Owen Wilson was like a huge star in the 2000s.
He certainly was. I mean, unfortunately, his career, I think, was sidelined quite a bit by just a pretty serious event in his personal life.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite tragic. Now, thankfully, I think he's been able to recover from it. But if you look at the first and second half of his careers, if you're dividing it in that 2007 incident,
mm-hmm.
It's quite different. Now he's still working. He's worked consistently since. He had a really, really great comeback role in, coincidentally enough, the Woody Allen film Midnight in Paris. I think he's brilliant in that film. But you're right, Anton. I mean, certainly more well known for his comedic chops.
Wedding Crashers.
Yeah,
Right.
huge.
Right.
Yeah, huge in the Wedding Crashers. I mean, Meet the Parents. Okay, he was like
Meet the Parents.
Okay, he was in a Heater in 2000.
Yeah.
Meet the Parents, Zoolander, then the Royal Tannenbaums.
Yes.
Shanghai Noon, same year as Meet the Parents. Come on.
That's massive for him.
He
Huge.
kind of messed up when he did that Bob Ross movie, but like, everyone gets a mulligan,
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Closer to the mic, Ben.
Am I really that? Oh my gosh.
A little
All right,
bit,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna move the mic right here.
That's better. You can do. I
All right.
believe in you. You can do this.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
No, you believe in Joe Hendry?
Yes, thank you.
He Anton, you're right. Like, what a heater in the 2000s. The main voice role in Cars.
Mm-hmm. Lightning McQueen. All right, I can't.
What I'm trying to think. What's that hilarious line he has from Meet the Parents? The wood is from an old seaman's chapel I salvaged from Nantucket. It's like, just all the shit he says.
Yeah. And like you said, he had a very difficult 2007, but he's absolutely been able to just change paths in his career. But I think this was like a really good example of just the range that he has. I think this definitely showed his range.
Yeah, because I wouldn't describe this as a comedic performance from him. This is definitely more dramatic. He's the straight man here, right? He doesn't get a lot of funny lines. He's the audience's avatar. Right. He's the fish out of water. Accent aside, to your point, Ben, it's a very genuine performance. Trivia bit, Anton, don't answer this. This is just for Ben. Academy Award nominee Owen Wilson, do you know what he was nominated for an Oscar for?
If it wasn't for Cars, it should be nothing else.
I'll give you a hint. It is not an acting role. It is a writing role.
I don't even know.
He and Wes Anderson were nominated for Best Screenplay for The Royal Tenenbaums.
Okay.
It's a good bar trivia bit.
Okay. I'm going to watch them.
And I think, Anton, to the point you're making about his career, that's even the most underrated bit about him that I doubt most people are even aware of is just the screenplay stuff that he did with Anderson, which is frankly great.
Yeah, he definitely has the Hollywood good looks to be in leading man roles. He of course has shown his comedic chops. So I think people underestimate, like, again, his range, just how talented he is, like on screen and off screen. So just wanted to call that out. Like, Owen Wilson really does bring so much to the table.
I mean, the 2020s, he did come back with Mobius.
Oh yeah, that's right. When he was on
Loki, and then
Loki.
The Avengers stuff. Yeah, he came back.
Yeah, good call.
Who could forget that?
Me.
I wasn't even aware of that. So moving through the rest of the cast, arguably the best actor of her generation is in this film, Cate Blanchett, as Jane Winslet Richardson. She's good here. She's never given a bad performance as far as I'm concerned. I would say in the grand scheme of all things Cate Blanchett, this is far from her best performance. I think she's still very good.
Still very good.
Yeah.
Delivers some pretty funny lines.
Yes. The lack of cursing had me cracking up. Effing this, effing that. Her scene with Bill Murray up in the hot air balloon, pretty great.
Tried to go and give her a kiss and
Yep. And she takes a slug of the Campari, and then he says, really a funny line, which is, you really think it's cool for you to be hitting the sauce with a bun in the oven?
Yes, yeah.
And then he pages him. He's like, take us down. Anton, this was a huge year for her. She's in this film, and she wins the Academy Award for playing Katharine Hepburn in The Aviator.
Well, because she's a star, darling.
And now you're wooing me, aren't you?
Yes, you are. Well,
was that her first Oscar? I think it was, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. What is she? 3-time? 2-time?
Let's name the films. So,
Blue Jasmine, Woody Allen film,
Aviator, and
is it maybe only twice?
3 does sound correct.
I thought she won 3. Hang on.
And then
we can figure this out.
Quickly behind.
No, it's only 2.
Only 2.
I really thought it was 3. Somehow didn't win for Elizabeth in 98. That's a little weird. Gwyneth Paltrow won that year.
For Romeo and Juliet?
Shakespeare in Love.
No. Sorry, Shakespeare in Love.
Shakespeare
I
in
get
Love.
those two mixed up all the time.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably would have given that to Cate Blanchett. You want to talk about aging like a fine wine? Cate Blanchett.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of stuff that I wouldn't expect her to be in at this point in her career, just because I don't know why she got cast as one of the leads in Borderlands.
Oh, I know the reason.
I mean,
a very attractive paycheck.
Yeah, there's
no other reason why a woman of her talent would be in that disaster.
I was gonna say, as a fan of video games, it makes no sense. But I see your very, very practical point.
She's male, female, doesn't matter. She's probably one of my 3 favorite actors ever.
Oh, she's incredible. She does great in whatever she does.
She does any type of role too. She'll do goofy roles, super serious, super dramatic, super comedic. Doesn't matter. She'll do anything.
Yeah, I particularly, I'm a huge fan of Blue Jasmine, and I don't know like where you both stand on Hot Fuzz, but her her scene in Hot Fuzz is hilarious. You can't even tell it's Cate Blanchett.
Yeah.
No, she's one of those actors where no matter how small the role or how bad the movie, she elevates it. Like, I don't care for Don't Look Up at all. I think it's very stupid.
Mm-hmm.
She's great in it.
It's definitely a movie that was needed.
Would you agree it's kind of stupid though?
Absolutely, it's stupid, but it's needed.
Yeah, yeah. I won't argue that.
Yeah.
Her scenes where it's very hard for, I think, anyone to, let's say, intimidate Leonardo DiCaprio in some kind of a sexual situation, and she manages to do it.
Does it well.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll just leave it at that if anyone hasn't seen it. You know, she's even good in something like Thor Ragnarok, Anton. Doesn't have a ton to do in that movie, but
she's doing her thing.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, she's kind of only in the beginning and the end, right? She's not in a big chunk of it.
Sprinkled through the middle, maybe.
Yeah.
Like she kicks it off and then she closes it out.
Also in Squid Game.
Yeah, like that's true.
End.
At the very end of season 2, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
she's probably
spoilers.
gonna play the next one. Yeah, spoilers.
Are they making a third one?
I think so.
See, I'm really mad about that because I think I told this story on the podcast, Anton. My wife and I were going to watch the second season. It came out around Christmas, right? Doesn't it come out around the holidays? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was out in the morning running errands and stuff, and we had a bunch of family over. That's when my in-laws were living with us for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I get home in the early afternoon, and they've already watched like 6 of the 10 episodes. Yep. And out of sheer protest, I will never watch season 2 now because of the betrayal that I suffered on that Saturday in December.
Just watch the last 2 episodes.
No,
that's all you need.
No, I don't acknowledge its existence anymore, Ben.
They gotta. I mean, it's a great concept. I think it's going deeper and deeper, but I don't know how much further you can keep rehashing it. I think either you do a big movie and close it out, and be good with it. I just don't want to see like a Squid Game 7 coming out.
Isn't Fincher doing a version of it?
They're going to do it just like, oh my gosh, what's that money movie that's in Spanish? But it's not a movie, TV show on Netflix. Like the bank robberies. There's like Berlin and...
Money Heist?
Money Heist, yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to basically just drain that as much as they can, just like Money Heist, but with different continents.
I do really like the first season of Money Heist.
Great show.
But back to this film.
To the cast. Angelica Houston is Eleanor Zissou. Only performer in here does nothing for me.
I think she's works really well with as like the cold estranged wife.
She definitely does that well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because then when you get a moment of warmth, like it actually does pay off.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, Angelica Houston, I think this is also our first time talking about her.
Yes.
Huge. I'm a fan just because I'm a big fan of the Addams Family, which I've seen. Morticia Addams. But in this film, I can see where you're coming from, Pat. It could definitely be seen as a bit one note.
I think I'm just not a fan of her in general.
Just have that like bitchy vibe. That's like,
yeah,
he's just trying to do better, and it's like you're not helping. Like, why are you even married to him? You could have stayed with Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, I think that you're onto something there, and that might be perhaps a fault of the writing. It's just like why is she still married to him? She's the one with the money. Maybe she actually does love him. Doesn't
probably not, because when he said, "Hey, one of my cast is is held up for ransom. Can you ask your parents for money?" And she was like, Absolutely not.
No.
Like,
no.
Like, no. Like, all right.
Wait. Okay. So he tries to cheat on her with Cate Blanchett's character.
Mhm.
And then really quick at the documentary premiere at the beginning of the film, the African-American woman who walks up to him, right? Is that a woman he's having an affair with? It seems to...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the character, like, development is just, like, so weird because it's like, what happened to her? Right?
I don't know.
Like, it was such a big thing at the beginning of the movie. And it's like...
Because you never see that woman again. She's in the movie for 3 seconds.
The crayon seahorse had more time on the screen than her. So it's like...
Yes, that's true.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Eleanor Zissou. I love the name Eleanor, though, as you know.
Yeah. I know you do.
Yeah, just have to say that. I have to make that firmly clear. Willem Dafoe is Klaus.
Oh, great.
Hilarious.
Great.
It's a nothing role.
He's great in everything, though.
Never given a bad performance.
Absolutely not. Never.
Incredible range from Willem Dafoe. He's another one of those guys. He can do anything. He can be good. He can be bad. He's probably better at being bad.
Yes.
But he can equally do good, like, quote unquote, good characters brilliantly.
Yeah. This film, like, his character is just always eager.
Yeah. It's restrained for Dafoe despite the German accent. Because, you know, if you want to go over the top, he can do that for you.
He will.
He will.
I mean, look what he did to May Parker. That's all I'm going to say.
I love Willem Dafoe. Also, I have to give him his props here. Aging like a fine wine. He has looked the same our entire lives.
Oh, he looks incredible for his age.
He's probably, what, 70? Like,
yeah, they say black don't crack and Asian don't raisin, but like that guy is
Willem
like
Dafoe.
probably like one of the most, he is there, right? He is not
Willem
changed.
Dafoe, you gotta know.
Yeah.
Talk about range. This is a shout out to every like college student that saw this and it changed and it blew their minds. Was Boondock Saints and his character turn in that film, and
absolutely.
just how over the top his character is in that film compared to his role in this film. It's kind of all over the place.
He can give you anything you want. He's probably, I would imagine he's like a director's dream, because no matter what, they're like, oh, Willem, just turn that up to 11, please. No problem. I want you to be as subdued as humanly possible. No problem. Because I would say, I would say, you agree with me, like, accent aside, he's very subdued here.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And then if you look at like how in like Grand Budapest Hotel, he's basically a cartoon character.
Yeah. Just leather jacket, motorcycle riding. Yeah.
Or in Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Or in exactly.
Tremendous. That's one of the first movies I've ever saw him in, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a scientist myself.
Oh God. Oh my gosh.
Like Aunt May is in room, like saying her prayers, and then just like boom.
He was so good in that they, I think, rather mistakenly kept bringing him back for the second and third one. Now the second one I think was fine, but his cameo in Spider-Man 3 is like, okay, come on.
In the first, there's just too many like funny lines in the first one. Sleep.
After he disintegrates all the people at the parade, and like it's the most comic book.
They turn into skeletons.
The most comic book moment ever is when he's flying away. He just yells, "We'll meet again, Spider-Man." I love it.
Just like ad-lib that while he's just flying through the...
I hope he did. He's so... Yeah. You're almost sad he gets killed, because you're like, man, we were only going to see him in dumb flashbacks now. Like, as far as Green Goblin goes, Anton, is like, could anyone do better?
As a Green Goblin, no. For me, that is my Green Goblin. Yeah. Is Willem Dafoe.
Hashtag my Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Oh, Norman. I love the he does subtle stuff in that movie too. Remember when the guy's like, "You're out, Norman"? He's like, "Am I?" Okay.
Goldblum. Really quickly, the way that he ravenously just sharpens the carving knife,
yes,
and just looks with contempt at Aunt May. He's just like.
Even the non-verbal stuff he's doing in that film after he gets exposed to the gas. Remember, he jumps through the glass and he's like,
"Yeah." How did you say you cut yourself again?
Even John Wick.
Yeah.
He's
good at anything. Anything I've ever seen him in. I'm delighted to see him in the movie.
Just all around good guy.
One of the goats. He really is.
I think people that know Ball know just how incredible he is. I don't think your average person recognizes how incredible he really is.
He is on the same level, and I'm about to move this along, as Jeff Goldblum.
Ooh,
Goldblum.
Oh my goodness.
This is one of my favorite Goldblum performances, Alistair Hennessy. Yeah. And if you think about it, he's not important to the plot at all. You could take his character out of the film and there would really be no change to it. And yet he makes the character feel important and memorable. There are a few people that do smug better than him in this film.
Yeah, he's such a character. Talk about range. I love that he's been able to evolve over the years to be able to, just show that he can be a lead, but also, again, take some smaller roles where he really shines.
This is where his talents lie, this particular type of role. Because he's not in this film much, but it feels like a huge role.
It's memorable.
It's super memorable.
Well, we covered not too long ago Independence Day, which you get a lot of Goldblum.
Yeah.
And I love him in it, you know? So I think that in this film, though, you get a very different flavor, and I totally agree with you, Pat. Like, it's just using the best of his abilities.
What's the scene where he gets the facts about his research station getting burgled? And he's like, I'm so mad I could spit.
The dialogue in this film, Wes Anderson's great.
The subtleness that he keeps calling Zissou Steven. Steven.
He knows he's being a dick.
Oh, completely.
Like, he just fucking knows. It's like, I used to date your wife.
He's going to give him the invoice to, like, he's like, the fuel and the expense incurred to my crew. And Steve's like, this is more than the entire budget of the project. He's like, well, it's just an estimate.
I think, like, right before this, I saw Jeff Goldblum in Chaos, where he plays Zeus. And it's, like, still excellent acting all the way around.
And then Michael Gambon in a smaller role, but a great character name I want to highlight, Asiri Draculius. just the names that Anderson comes up with for these characters.
Well, we were talking about in the production. It's just a lot of the planning and pre-writing. It was just they got a lot of the names from a restaurant that they ate at.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just so great.
Yes. Noah Taylor's in this. Bud Cort plays the Bond company stooge Bill. Sue George,
MVP. That's my MVP.
Yeah.
He's almost like the is muse the right term? The chorus?
Oh, I see what. Yeah, like is that the right term? But I know what you mean.
If not,
like
someone will correct us.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking
tragedy.
about, Ben? Is that the right term for it? He's like the chorus. He's a character in the film, but he could also be the chorus if this were a play.
Yeah. I think that might be it. If not, it is now.
Someone on YouTube will let us know.
Yeah, if anyone's ever watched Hades Town, it's the character of it's one of the muses.
Right. If you choose to watch this film like a play, which you absolutely could.
Yeah.
We say this film has a great cast, and I would say as far as Wes Anderson films go, this has one of the leanest casts. Not that I'm complaining, because I think all the players here are brilliant. No bad performances here. Just great cast all around.
Yeah. So I quickly looked this up. Yes, you're correct, Pat. The term is the muse.
The muse.
So it's the Greek chorus that offers almost a dreamlike narration. And so, especially with the Portuguese songs, with David Bowie songs, they thematically bring us between scenes and also capture the essence of what is occurring in the film.
Brilliant. You know what it is actually more like? Not necessarily a play, but who's the singer in There's Something About Mary?
Oh,
who is technically a character in the film because at the end he gets shot with the sniper rifle.
That's right.
By the neighbor.
You know
what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the guy that just he opens with singing the opening song.
Yeah, the theme song. There's something about Mary. It's kind of like that.
So funny. Oh dang! I want to watch that.
Oh man, that movie. I watched it recently. I hadn't seen it in a long time. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah.
I'm sure there's like a lot of problematic stuff in there. Can't wait to watch that again.
It's aged pretty well.
So the one thing that I thought was problematic, it's not that her brother was special needs. It was that her brother played, I think, a high schooler, but he definitely looked like he was 40.
Yes. Yeah.
And like to me, I was like, come on, we want some believability.
My passion is my hobby.
Matt Dillon, talk about career revivals.
A little bit.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
What was it that what is it that he says? It's like and actually, you know, we put him in. I gave him this chain so he could be able to go in
Mongo.
between. Yeah. Oh God.
Mongo.
See, that's what I was thinking.
No, but it's satirical.
Yeah,
right?
they do. She's like, I don't think that's politically correct, Ted. And he's like, well, maybe. He's like, but nobody's going to tell me who I can and cannot work with.
Yeah, the joke is he shouldn't be saying these things.
Right, of course.
We shouldn't be laughing at it. We should be laughing at him.
You can laugh at it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's one of the funniest lines from the movie. The memes that have come from that.
Like my favorite actor. Well, I want to say like top 3. Keith David is in there.
Yes, he is.
Oh, Keith David.
In the one scene.
Yeah.
Right in the beginning.
Mary's dead. Like, it's like, what?
Remember he messes with him? He's like,
yeah.
He's like, am I at the right house? He's like, why, Ted? What were you expecting?
Are you? Well, what did he say? It was like, are you yelling at me in my own home?
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Are you arguing with me?
Is it the Frank or the beans?
Beans and Franks.
What baseball are you talking about? He just definitely had it out for him. That was funny.
Gosh, that movie.
Shouts out Keith David. We haven't covered a Keith David film, right?
We sure have.
Oh, right. You're right.
So many, there's no way you haven't.
No, we covered The Thing. I mean, he's. I would say he's probably done more voice acting work than live action. Right?
Absolutely.
The Arbiter.
Yeah,
like he's like the president of Rick and Morty too.
He's in everything.
Morty.
Tales from the Hood.
Yeah, Tales from the Hood.
Hilarious role as Lana's dad on Archer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spawn.
The series, right?
Yep.
The animated series, which was great HBO show. We have gone on so many sidebars on today's episode, but so many tangents, but who cares? Much like this film, tangent. We ready to give our ratings maybe? Because we're done with the notes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ben, as the guest, would you like to go first and give your rating? As long as you're speaking to the mic.
I will speak directly into the mic. Give it an A.
Whoa.
Right? Number 1, Wes Anderson, I'm always going to support. Number 2, the stop motion animation, beautiful. They could have went CGI, but they went stop motion. Amazing. Bill Murray's performance as well. It's just like, it gets you in the feelings. And it's like, I kind of relate to him, even though I don't want to relate to him. So, yeah. And, that's pretty much it. Like, I give it an A, just off of those things.
So you really loved it.
I really did. I didn't think I was going to like it because it was, something that was just passed up. Like when you open up your fridge and you see all your food that you have and you're like, oh, I can eat this. And it's like you finally try that one thing that you bought at Costco and you're like, wow, this is actually really, really good. That was this. Yeah.
I love the comparison.
Thanks.
Anton,
what are you thinking here?
I have so much appreciation for this film because I got to agree with Ben. It's a Wes Anderson film. I always think very highly of Wes Anderson films, and this film is no different. I think that the flavor of this particular film is just such a vibe in the watching experience. It's not as gripping as a story as I think maybe other stories are, and I think maybe that's something against the film, is that while the themes are very heavy, you can get lost really easily just because if you're an average viewer, there's a lot going on, there are many layers, the character motivations are kind of all over the place, and I feel like that is a drawback but also a beauty to the film, because it allows you to, almost with every rewatch, appreciate something new and different. And I think that's why, we have the term like hangout film, vibes film. This is a film I could totally have out on in the background. The soundtrack in this film is one of my favorites. I just love the music in this film. I think that while it may not be my favorite Wes Anderson film, I do think very highly of it. I think that this was a great step forward from the Royal Tannenbaums because it showed a different side that, again, Wes Anderson was able to perfect once he gets to the Grand Budapest Hotel. This film itself, I think of it very highly. I put it at a B+.
I don't know how you can like Wes Anderson and not enjoy this. I really don't. Like you, Anton, is this his best film for me? No, it isn't. Is it my favorite Wes Anderson film? No, it isn't. But I enjoy it immensely. And This is perhaps a hot take. I have watched this far more than the Royal Tenenbaums. Do I think this is a better film than the Royal Tenenbaums? I'm not sure, but I rewatch it more, which I think maybe says a lot. Again, I love the Royal Tenenbaums. I think it's a great film, but I've always gravitated towards this one more. I think because of the hangout nature of it, the plot is so sparse that kind of like the film we just covered the other day, Miami Vice. You can kind of just throw this on and catch this in the middle of it, the beginning, towards the end. It doesn't really matter because it's a hangout movie. And yeah, it can be slow at times, but I find this movie quite relaxing and amusing, and that's probably why I enjoy rewatching it. That's probably the answer, actually, of why I think Royal Tenenbaums has a tighter plot that you need. I think it just benefits from watching it start to finish more than something like this. But Bill Murray is brilliant here. The rest of the performances from the cast are great. I love the visuals. I love the vibes. All of the humor works for me. It's one of my favorite summer movies. I'm going to go right in between the both of you at an A-. I don't know where I'd rank this in terms of my Wes Anderson movies. Probably top 5, maybe top 3. I really do love it. It's one of my favorites of his. Well, that's it for The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Ben, I'm so glad this was a first time just love fest for you.
It was fun. It was like I expected the worst, but then you know what?
Wow.
Yeah.
But you had a good time, and we are so happy for it. And we had a great time.
Thank you guys for this
today.
It's all about the vibes, man.
It's all about the vibes.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have you back again, kind of whenever you want. You know, you've got an open invite for Why Wasn't It Better? So we've always got something on the horizon for you, Ben. But until then, that's it for this edition of Why Wasn't It Better? Thanks for listening, and see you next time.